Coronavirus was searched almost 30 million times online in the past 24 hours. I mean, that is more than any single word has ever been searched for before. Isn't that incredible? I mean, it's having an effect in every aspect of our lives right across the world. I mean, schools are closing, universities are closing, sporting events, entertainment events are closing. I mean, even whole countries are going into quarantine at the moment. It's having a massive effect. I mean, even socially, within our social environments, you know, fathers, mothers are being sent home from work to work from home. So the entire environment is completely changing within our social structure at the moment. And the repercussions of that, both socially and economically, we have no idea what's going to happen with all of that. But this is the biggest impact on our lives since World War II. So this is massive. I mean, even the Olympic Games, you know, do we know if the Olympic Games are going to go ahead? They may well be cancelled. The last time they were cancelled was a result of World War II. So the impact is huge on our lives. And in terms of the fitness industry itself, I mean, we're seeing a huge impact in the fitness industry. In the past 7 days in the UK alone, we've seen a 30% drop-off in people attending gyms. And I suspect that that's going to be increasing in the coming weeks and months. And the major trade shows around the world, the major fitness events, which are the lifeline and the bloodline of the fitness industry, they've all been cancelled. FIBA, URSA, the Arnold Classic, they've all been cancelled or postponed. And sports clubs, you know, smaller sporting events, even the Premiership football within the UK, that's been cancelled. So it's having a huge impact on the entire fitness industry. But what is so ironic about this is that it is the survival of the fittest. Is that it's the fittest and the healthiest and youngest of the population that are most resilient to this virus. So if ever there was a time to be involved in the fitness industry or to be healthy and to be fit and to be energetic and looking after your nutrition and health, now is the time. But, you know, according to a lot of online reports and even the World Health Organization, you know, they are stating that the gyms are a high-risk area at the moment in terms of public places. Well, personally, I tend to disagree with this completely, and there's two main reasons for it. One is that generally your healthier population are going to gym, and if they are ill, generally they'll stay away from the gym. And secondly, we know that body fluids are exerted within a gym, so your mindset is a lot more around being healthy, being sterilizing, putting a towel over your bench, using hand sterilizers to put over the dumbbells, put over the grips, cleaning before you exercise, cleaning after you exercise. So with that mindset going into a gym environment, it's probably one of your safest public environments to be in. But having said that, if you are looking at a home gym, this is a really good time to be investing in a home gym, because most of the population is going to be sitting at home. So you're going to be spending time on Netflix. You've got the kids all at home from school. You've got mum and dad at home because work is sending you home, so you're working from home. So the entire environment is at home. So our whole energy levels are dropping down at home. And if we're not getting to the gym, and we're not getting out there exercising, it's a really good time to start fitting in a gym at home. We've seen in the past 2 to 3 weeks, we've seen a huge increase in the demand at ESP Fitness for home gyms. People have been closing in their indoor swimming pools and fitting an entire gym in the swimming pool. People have been converting their double garages, taking the cars out, getting rid of all the junk and fitting the garage with a home gym. I mean, we've even got somebody that's taken their man gym downstairs, taken out the bar, taken out the pool table and converting that into a gym. So it's a good time to be looking at that at the moment. It's also a great time to be a personal trainer right now, because there's so many opportunities at the moment. Everybody that's got a home gym is looking for a PT to help them. There's great opportunities to do online coaching, online training at the moment. So I really encourage the PTs out there to really be proactive in this period, because it's a great period to get involved in the fitness industry right now. But there's a couple of things that we really need to be well aware of. And the first is how to prevent ourselves from catching coronavirus. And that's the most critical. And the second is, if we do have it, how do we reduce the severity of the symptoms of the virus? And the first being how to prevent it is that there's 3 main ways of preventing the virus. The first really is to avoid places where there might be people, public places where there might be people that might be carrying the virus. So those gatherings or areas where there might be people with the virus, to stay away from those. The second is being in closed environments, so environments where there is not a very big circulation of air, trains, aeroplanes, etc., where there's a tight circulation of air. So if there is airborne particles of the virus in the air, that prevents us from ingesting those airborne particles. And the third is touching anything where the virus may well have settled. So anyone that is a carrier of the virus, they may be putting contaminating areas, and it's making sure that we either don't touch those areas, or we wash our hands very well regularly, or using sterile sanitizers, or even wearing rubber gloves when we're going out, and making sure that we don't touch our face at or get that on our body. And the second aspect is, how do we reduce the severity of the symptoms? Well, here there's 4 main points that we need to consider. The first is water, probably the most important. We've got to be hydrated. Our entire body is about 75 to 78, 80% made up of water. But what's most important is that our saliva, so your mouth, nose and eyes, the wet areas of our body, is our first line of defense. And this is where the virus is entering our body. And that is made up of water. So it's a high percentage of water. So it's really important that we keep well hydrated, and that our first line of defense is an absolute pristine condition. So the average person in the UK drinks about half a cup of water a day. Yes, that's half a cup of water a day. You think about it. Think about how much water you've drunk in the last 24 hours. And I bet you've probably drunk very, very little water. So my challenge to you is to drink 2 liters of water. That's 8 cups of water a day. Yes, you're going to be peeing a lot throughout the day. Yes, you're going to be urinating. But at the same time, you're hydrating your entire body. And it takes a little bit of time to be able to get used to ingesting that amount of water. But it's extremely important for your body to be able to be fighting these toxins by having a really well hydrated body. The second is exercise. Especially now, because if everyone is at home within a small environment, not getting out there. In the northern hemisphere, this is we're coming to the end of winter, but it's still quite cold and wet and outside, and it is extremely important that we stay active. And there's a reason for this, because if you imagine a car that's been standing for a long time, and then you start that car up and it struggles to get started, and then it splutters, and then you've got to rev it a little bit and drive it around the block before it idles nicely and the engine is nicely cleared. Well, it's the same as our human body. If we sit all day watching on the internet or working from home and then watching Netflix, and we're not moving our body, our blood isn't pumping around the body, which is extremely important for many, many reasons. But one of the most important is, inside our blood we have white blood cells. And those are our killer blood cells. Those are the blood cells that are going around and killing any toxins within our body. And if we don't exercise, those white blood cells are stagnant. They're not energized and they're not moving around our body. So we need to spend time getting our blood flowing. And really all that it takes is probably twice a day, exercising for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. It's really just movement. So you don't even have to be doing vigorous exercise, but doing movement, whether it's yoga, Pilates, any form of exercise. And this comes back to having a home gym at the moment, which is so vital if you are spending time at home. But really 30 minutes, even 30 minutes once a day, will have a huge impact on your immunity within your body and your ability to fight off any foreign toxins within your body. The third aspect is nutrition. Having a really well-balanced diet and eating a high volume of particularly dark green vegetables and salads is extremely important for your immune system. And if you can't do that, then having a very good multivitamin, a multivitamin that's high in vitamin C, vitamin B complex, and zinc, things that are going to push up your immune system and your immunity. Those are really important to be bringing into your diet at the moment. The fourth aspect is sleep. Now, this is a really important aspect, especially when our lifestyle is changing. Because typically during a work week, we'll go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. But when we're at home, that dynamic changes. So you're sitting in front of the TV, you're watching your Netflix. The next thing is you look at your watch and it's midnight, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You go to bed late, you wake up late. The cycle starts, you become extremely tired during the day and your whole immune system lowers. So what's really important is keeping your sleep hygiene. Go to sleep at the same time as what you were during a normal work week every day. Wake up at the same time as what you would normally wake up to get to work. And it's really important that we try to get about 8 hours sleep a night to try and make sure that our body is invigorated and is repairing correctly, because most of our protein synthesis and most of our repair of the body happens when the body is actually at sleep. I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any questions, comment below or send us a question on social media. And subscribe to this channel. We've got some great content coming up in the next couple of weeks and months. And if there's anything we can do to help you fit a home gym at home, get in contact with ESP Fitness at esp-fitness.com. We've got some of the world's best home gym designers ready to help you with your home gym design. And we've got everything from budget home gyms right through to the most exclusive home gyms that money can buy. But if we can help you anywhere along the line or give you some advice anywhere, please just drop us a line and we'll try and help you. Let's all try and turn this negative into a really positive and healthy environment for everyone. Take care.